hello and good afternoon. I'm used to saying morning, but good afternoon. Ray is going to light our peace candle for us this morning. We affirm that God is in this holy temple, and as we light this peace candle, we project the light of perfect, profound peace to every individual upon the planet and the planet itself. Thank you. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for being here. We have a nice little intimate group here this morning, and big thanks to all of you who are joining us online. We certainly do appreciate you tuning in and appreciate your support. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Normally at this point we would have an opening hymn, and I didn't realize until yesterday that we don't have any music, and yours truly is not leading that. So we are skipping that for today. But if you will join me in an attitude of prayer for our prayer of invocation, which will be followed by the Lord's Prayer. Divine Creator, we are one with you. You have made us one with you. There is no separation. And we acknowledge that thou art in all, through all, and art all, and that all things come from this divine source. We affirm that we live and have our being in a sea of divine creative energy, which is nothing but you. As we celebrate this Sunday of fellowship and worship and meditation, guide us to have the awareness that this divine energy is in all things and in all people. And let us this morning, as a congregation of spiritual unity, project these thoughts of love and healing to all those who are in need at this time, those in hospitals, nursing homes, those who are experiencing grief and loss, and for those who have no one to pray for them. We project this healing energy of possibilities and hope, knowing that this God energy is never still, and whatever the situation that all of us are experiencing, this too shall pass. Permeate the consciousness of all those who are in need. Let us project this energy and awareness and pray for all souls everywhere, especially the leaders of our various countries. May they work in harmony to bring peace to every situation. May we and all souls throughout the world know that through the love of God, we share a soul connection with each other. We ask all these things in the name of the great ascended Master, Jesus the Christ, who taught us to pray together. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Okay, now normally we would have a responsive reading, but I have an inspirational reading for us, which is more like an affirmation. So I want you to just close your eyes, and as I say these words, I want you to repeat them internally to yourself with an energy of certainty, okay? I am sacred. I am holy. I am made of the light of the universe. Positive energy flows to me and flows from me. I am love. I am divine. I emanate peace and love. I breathe in the light of God. I am infinite. And I am connected to the unlimited abundance of the universe. Feel that, know that, be that, and you will become these things. And open your eyes when you're ready. As we go throughout this week, feel free to tune back in online on YouTube. You can watch this recording, and I would encourage you to repeat those affirmations to yourself and do it often. I always teach my students two words always, that will give you a really strong, solid spiritual foundation. Both those words start with the letter R: ritual and repetition. Get yourself a practice and repeat it every day. Ritual and repetition. Remember those two words. At this point, we would normally have our meditation, but I'm going to change the order of it a little bit because I'm going to weave our meditation into our sermon this morning. So we're just going to rearrange that section just for today. And I'm a little bit, I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly because this is different than I'm used to. Yeah, I'm going to rearrange this whole thing. Sorry, Reverend Brown. Let's do our sermon now, okay? It just makes more sense to do it this way, if you ask me. All right, so if you can, I wasn't here last month, I don't think, so it's been a little while. But if you remember all the way back to July or August, I can't exactly remember, but we started a sermon series that's supposed to take us 12 months. It's actually going to take us a little longer than that because we have to skip here and there. But this is the third part of that series. That series is on the 12 laws of karma. And we've already talked about two of them. We talked about the great law, and we talked about the law of creation last time I was here. And today we're going to focus on the law of humility, which will teach us to let go and surrender all. And we're going to start out by looking at the metaphysical definition of humility. This is from the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, which tells us that humility is freedom from pride and arrogance, recognition that the person by him or herself is ineffectual. It says in John chapter 5, verse 30, I can of myself do nothing. It also says in John 14, verse 10, the Father abiding in me doeth the works. I can of myself do nothing, and the Father that abideth in me doeth the works. So that tells us that we have to open up. We have to let that flow through us. True humility is needed very much in the spiritual or Christ-centered individual. The true seeker is humble. We know that the nothingness of our lower self, our lesser self, and the allness of that beautiful divine Christ light within us all. Okay. I have a question for all of you, and all of you at home too. I won't be able to see you, but still raise your hand. Raise your hand this morning if you have ever had a problem and you ignored it. I'll put both mine up. That's like my favorite thing to do, you know. It'll go away if you just ignore it. Keep your hand raised if that helped your problem. No, not at all. What you refuse or deny to change or see in your life is something that you're either allowing it, and it will get worse, or keep showing up in your life if you don't acknowledge, heal it, and change it. And I know we've all experienced that too, right? We've met someone, they've rubbed us a little bit the wrong way. We've been in a relationship with someone that didn't quite work out. So you change the situation and you end up right back with the exact same person with a different name. The exact same coworker with a different name, or the exact same boss with a different name. A different person, but the exact same type of person. That's the universe telling us, hey, there's something going on within you that you got to look at so we can stop this pattern of attracting these same situations and people over and over again. I found an article a little while back. It's by a gentleman named Petey Silveira, and I want to read you a snippet of that because I think he just explains this really, really well. He says, perhaps there's someone in your life that's extremely difficult for you to deal with. Maybe you see them as controlling. This characteristic surfaces the most with couples that I work with. One is always feeling controlled in some manner by the other. They can feel controlled by manipulation, martyred, or victim behavior, someone's health issues, the other's grief, the other having more or less money, and so on and so forth. And this can also be felt in a work environment, or your family, or among friends. If at first you choose not to accept this trait by the other, it will end up creating damage in your body, your mind, or your soul. By not accepting this about the other, it becomes repressed by you and ends up being manifested in many other ways. It can often turn to depression, migraines, back pain, allergies, shingles, or a host of other physical ailments. By not accepting it, some even turn to drugs, drinking, or food to numb what it is you can't accept. It may make you feel as if you become lost in the dark and can't see the light anymore. Your ability to meditate, pray, or connect with spirit will most likely be sabotaged. So what we have to realize here is that we, ourselves, and only ourselves, are the only ones that we can control. We can't control anything else. And I found a gentleman also in my research for this named George Mueller. And he says this: I am just so scattered today. I think I'm missing a page. We're just going to have to make it up. So, it's just not there. Maybe it didn't print. But that's what we have to realize. We cannot control that other person, no matter if we like it or not. And I attended a spiritual journey or pilgrimage several years ago. First, we went to the Middle East. We went to Abu Dhabi and then on to India. And while we were in the Middle East, we were joined by a lady that many of you probably have heard of. Her name is Byron Katie. And Byron Katie has developed through really trial and error what she calls the work. The work. You have to do the work. And the work involves 4 different questions that you have to ask yourself when you're confronted with situations like this. Ones that allow you to stay humble, ones that will keep you grounded and centered and not just give your peace away. And I'm really going to focus on the first 2 questions because they're really important to what we're talking about this morning. So when you're confronted with a person like that, Spirit, God, the universe puts these people in our lives, I hope, to teach us something. And we have to ask ourselves this question when we're having these negative thoughts or thinking negative things or having negative emotions. The first question, according to Byron Katie, that we have to ask ourselves is this one: is it true? Is what I'm thinking true? Is it true? Is it true that my boss likes my coworker better than me? Is it true? Can you definitively say yes? Maybe you still think that. Yes, it's obvious. And then we have to take it a little bit deeper and ask ourselves question number 2. Is this really true? Is it really true? And if you can't answer that question with certainty, with a yes, then there's this chance that it might not be true, and that lower part of yourself is lying to you or trying to justify what you're doing. Maybe that coworker gets better treatment from your boss because they do a better job than you do. Maybe we need to step up the game that way. But if you can't answer yes to both of those questions, is it true? Is it really true? And stay in that centered place of humility, then that tells us we've got to change our thinking. We have to change our energy. That's what I learned. And I ask myself those 2 questions constantly. Is it true? Is it really true? And you know what? Most of the time, the negative thoughts that my own mind tells me, I can't answer yes to both those questions. And you'll find that neither can you. When you actually sit down, go within yourself, center yourself, get into that place of humility where you realize that it's that divine spark within you that's answering, not just your mind. Is it true? Is it really true? That's what I want you to remember this morning. So as we move forward and as we shift and as we grow, and as we learn to catch ourselves with these falsehoods that our mind tells us. And we shift that, realizing that we can't control anybody but ourselves. And I just gave you a tool to do that. You'll notice that those people who show up all the time to test you or teach you to grow, whatever you call that, is that they start to shift. They start to shift. They stop showing up. Things start to go better. You attract people with higher energies to you, higher vibrations. And when that happens, you should give yourself a pat on the back, because we've learned that lesson. We've healed. We've shifted that energy. And these patterns no longer have to repeat themselves. No longer. Now, in the process of all this, in the process of personal development and in the strengthening of our energy and our moral character, humility takes on a moral and ethical dimension which cultivates virtues in not only just our spiritual life, but every area of our life. And true humility is distinctly different from false humility, which false humility is when you play down yourself. You play yourself down. Your gifts, your talents, your accomplishments, for the sake of receiving praise, you play it down. That's false humility, you see. Sometimes that manifests as low self-esteem or not feeling good about yourself. That's false humility. Okay? Submitting to God and the universe and spirit as the highest authority, which gives you consent in your actions, your words, and your deeds. When you get into that place where you connect to that higher realm, those higher vibrations, and you live a life that's guided, realizing that you may not always have all the answers. We tune into infinite wisdom. That's true humility, by letting go, by surrendering, and being divinely guided. Okay, that's where this happens. This is a big part of knowing yourself and being authentic and being true to yourself, not needing to compete with others, but by recognizing those skills or proficiencies in other people that give you something to aspire to give you something to shift into, to give you something to grow into. That's where we need to be. Those lower energies of worry and jealousy and anxiety and things like that will keep us stuck. We have to be in that place of humility where we realize that by living this divinely guided life is how we're going to grow, how we're going to shift, and how we are going to move forward. Okay? And here at this point, I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions just internally. Do you experience true humility? Do you? Do you put your talents, thoughts, and desires above spirits? You do if you're resisting and trying to control. And this is the challenge that I give you. I challenge you to change that this week. And we can do that by letting go of our desires, our human desires, and our fears. And this is where I want us to do our meditation. I'm going to give you an exercise to do that. So if you would, at this point, just relax. And we're going to do this exercise, which will give us an experience of true humility. And again, like the affirmations we did at the beginning, I encourage you to do this often as we go throughout this week. And again, you can go back and reference it on YouTube. So relax, take in a couple of deep cleansing breaths. Immediately in this moment, find 3 things that you can be grateful for. 3 things. and feel that energy of gratitude with every fiber of your being. Feel and visualize your energy expanding, your aura growing. A beautiful white shaft of light entering the top of your head at your crown chakra. This illustrates our divine connection that we speak of. We're going to shift our energy now. We're going to let go of our human desires and fears. As these words fall on your ears, absorb them not only with your ears, but through your entire body and energy system. O Divine Father, Mother, beloved God, guide me. From the desire of being esteemed, guide me. From the desire of needing to be loved, guide me, for it is your divine love that makes my soul sing. From the desire of being extolled, guide me. From the desire of being honored, guide me. From the desire of being praised, guide me. From the desire of being preferred, guide me. From the desire of being consulted, guide me. From the desire of needing approval, guide me. From the fear of being humiliated, heal me. From the fear of being despised, heal me. From the fear of suffering rebukes, heal me. From the fear of being forgotten, heal me. From the fear of being ridiculed, heal me. From the fear of being alone, heal me. from the fear of being wronged. Heal me. From the fear of being suspected. Heal me. That others may be loved more than I, O Spirit, grant me the grace to desire it. That others may be esteemed more than I, O Spirit, grant me the grace to desire it. That in the opinion of the world, others may increase. Spirit, grant me the grace to desire it. That others may be chosen. O Spirit, grant me the grace to desire it. That others may be praised. O Spirit, grant me the grace to desire it. That others may be preferred. O Spirit, grant me the grace to desire it. That others may become holier than I, provided that I may become as holy as I should. God, grant me the grace to desire it. Again, I want you to take these energies and absorb them into your consciousness. As you meditate for the next couple of minutes on your own. Being in this place of humility should not become an experience of feeling empty. It should give you an experience of divine love and connectedness as we let go of these human desires and fears and send these beautiful energies to every single person that we come into contact with. This is the third law of karma, the law of humility, which will clear the path for you. as you evolve, grow, and move forward. And now when you're ready, take in another deep cleansing breath. Open your eyes. Again, acknowledge that same love and connectedness in all things and in all people, and especially yourself. So, as I alluded to a few minutes ago, I decided to change the order of service a little bit. Let's do the offering portion of our service now. Bringing forward these gifts of love is a way to show the universe that you have an abundance. And you can't truly give anything away, good, bad, or indifferent. For those of you joining us online, we certainly do appreciate your gifts and offerings as well. If you go to our website, which is Roanoke Meta, METAVA.org, there's a donate button right on the home page. And again, we certainly do appreciate your gifts, your tithes, and your offerings to help us move forward with this wonderful message, grow this church and our mission. If you take your offering and hold it in your hands close to your heart, as you do, repeat after me. Divine love always has, and divine love always will.
Divine love always has, and divine love always will.
Supply my every need.
Supply my every need.
I bring this gift with love in my heart.
I bring this gift with love in my heart.
And I ask thee, O God, to bless it and me.
And I ask thee, O God, to bless it and me.
Amen.
Amen.
As you can see, we are collecting our offering with ushers. If you would, please put it in the offering plate, which is here by the front door as you exit. We certainly do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Because we don't have any bulletins, I have no idea as to what's going on around here. So I don't have any announcements to give you. Do anybody know what's going on? Anything anybody needs to know about? No? No, check the website.
Next Sunday there's a the church service will be at 11 a.m.
Okay.
With the combined churches here.
Okay.
So we will not have a 3 p.m. service. We will only have the one, and we have that. And then the 27th, I believe Reed's going to be back for service. I think. So
I'm not sure.
Check
the website for your announcements today. Those bulletins really do help keep you on track and be able to look at the announcements. And I didn't think to look as to what was going on before I came today. I have no idea, but check the website and check Facebook. I think this is my first time at this location, and I think you guys are kind of still in the process of getting settled and finding your sea legs and all these changes coming up, not coming up that you've just gone through. It'll take a little bit of time to get your footing and figure out exactly who we are and what we're doing here and how we want to shift things and grow. So do check the website for what's going on, and I'm sure things will become more settled and organized as time goes on. And this is the first time that I think I've ever done a church service with no music. And as I'm standing here and looking at the clock, that music takes up a lot of time. And I never realized. So I do, I'll tell you this. When I first took over that church in Florida, Reverend Brown had been there right before me. And right as he was leaving and I was coming in, they decided that they're going to change the time of their service from the evening to the morning. And when they did that, we had two different musicians that we used, piano players. I think Wayne, you met Wayne Hosford. He came here before for a convention. He was one of them. But he had, both of them had conflicts. They played at another church in the morning. So I lost them both at the exact same time. And as I alluded to at the beginning of this service, I'm not all that musically oriented. So I had to come up with a plan as to what to do, because that very Sunday was Easter. And I thought, you can't have Easter service without some sort of music. So I poked around online and I found a lady who had taken the red hymnal, the Wings of Song hymnal, and she had recorded the accompaniment tracks to all the major songs in there. Not every single one, but the major ones. And I bought those recordings from her, and I no longer need them. So if you guys want copies of it, just let me know. And for the closing hymn that we're going to have here in just a minute, I have the backing track for that. You can see what you think. If you want copies of it, feel free. I'll send it over to you. I used these things for years, and it's not the same as a live musician. You can't just say, let's do verses, 1, 2, and 4. You have to do them all. But other than that, you can get used to it. And like I said, if you'd like copies of that, just let me know. I'll send them over. I have tons for all the major ones. Okay. If you would, please join me now in an attitude of prayer. We're going to have our prayer of benediction, which will be followed by our closing hymn, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and we'll form a circle for that. Let us pray. May the blessing of God, the fountain of living water, flow within us as a river of life, and may we always drink of its wisdom and never thirst again. Amen. If you'd like to form a circle and join us in Let There Be Peace on Earth. This track I have, the intro is a little bit long, so you'll hear when it's time to come in. That's not the right one.